Good morning. Who wants to go kill some aphids today? Alright, we're loaded up. Let's go spray. Man, this is a really nice looking field of beans here. This is one of our best fields. It's just consistently at the top of the yield list, and they look really good. We're gonna get the bugs out of them so that they continue to look really good. Well, that field worked out just about perfect. Finished, and it says I have 0 gallons left. So we're gonna go back and load up. We've got this field across the ditch over there to spray. There's 78 acres in that, I think. And then the field across the road is our beans. We didn't spray that one with fungicide. That was one that I probably should have, but didn't. So I don't really want to track it up putting insecticide on. So what I think I'm gonna do is spray most of this one next to us, although not quite all of it, and then do the perimeter of the field across the road. And it seems to be that the insect pressure is usually greatest along the outside edges of the field, especially along the grass and the river and the filter strips and stuff. So I might look at it a little closer, but we're gonna hit the worst of it, and we'll see from there. Okay, I am reloaded onto the next field here. I thought, before I spray this stuff, let's just walk out here and see what we see. Japanese beetles, several of them. Decent looking beans right here, nice and tall. There's another Japanese beetle. You're about to die, Japanese beetle. But what about aphids? Well, there's none on that leaf. There's a couple. Yeah, there's some on the top side of a leaf. They are not supposed to be on the top side of a leaf. They almost never are. I'm sure if I look a little bit, we'll find them pretty heavy. Well, they're so little, I just don't think they really show up on the film and the camera here, but they're not super thick anywhere. They're just spread out on the whole plant. There's some on the stem right there. There's some on a pod right there. There's some more on a stem. They're on those leaves. There's 3, 4, 5 on the bottom side of these big leaves. So they just, they add up. I don't know. I may be jumping the gun a little bit on the spraying, but I think it's worth it for as cheap as it is. There's some bigger ones. You don't have to look real hard to find them. You just have to look real hard to count big numbers of them. But they're there. Okay, this was that field that we never sprayed fungicide on, which means I don't have tire tracks, so I can use the auto steer a little easier. And we're just out of chemical. It should run empty any second here. But I got the perimeter of it sprayed, which was what I really wanted to get anyway. So most of these look good. I did see a little bit of white mold. And I did see we've got some water damage in the back here. There, it's empty. So the river is in those trees over there, and this ground in the back floods anytime we get a significant rain, which we just did. However, those 30-inch rows there next to us are not ours, and theirs got hurt worse. I don't know if that's just because the ground is lower there, or, it seems to be pretty defined right at the line. I don't know what the difference is. It's interesting, though. Alright, well, we may end up in this field to finish it at some point, or we may just say good enough here and not worry about it. But that's all I'm doing in this general area for right now. We're gonna head back to the farm. At some point, we're gonna spray another load or two today. But we're getting most of the close beans done. I've got to do some scouting before I do some of the farther away fields. All right, well, I got some lunch, and I should go and spray, although the wind's picking up just a little bit. But I have to take my truck in to get work done. My brand new Ram is acting up, and I'm not very happy about it. But we got an appointment at the dealer, so I'm heading there. So every time I start it up, well, I get a message. We'll see if it pops up here. Of course not. There it is. Right front turn signal out. But you think, no big deal, right? Replace the turn signal bulb. Yeah, except for the fact that it is a LED turn signal. And I also get another error message. Let's see if this one comes up or not. Something about servicing that one, steering directed headlights. So apparently, the lights on this truck like turn when you turn the steering wheel, and it's not working. But the headlight is out as well. Something with that whole right front headlight turn signal module isn't working, and so I'm gonna take it to the dealer and let them fix it. Really, what I'm doing right now is driving to the dealer so that they can confirm what I already told them, and then order the parts and tell me they won't be in for 3 months. You gotta start somewhere. Well, I was almost correct when I left. It is the entire front right headlight assembly, and apparently a body control module, something else that's tied to it that also needs replaced. Fortunately, both covered under warranty, and instead of 3 months to get the parts, they said it'll be 2 weeks, but they wouldn't schedule the next appointment because, well, COVID and getting parts can be difficult. So, at least they're gonna fix it and I don't have to pay for it. Okay, I'm back at the farm. We're gonna go spray another load of aphid killer. I did stop at one of my customers on the way just to let them know that, hey, we've got aphids and white mold and stuff you should probably be checking your beans for. And we went out and walked one of his bean fields right next to his farm there. He sprayed fungicide and insecticide on Monday, like 5 days ago on Monday, and we found aphids. It's not good. There wasn't very many. Much lower numbers than what I'm seeing, where I didn't spray insecticide. But they're there. So we're going to need this hot weather coming this week, hopefully, just to keep them from exploding a second time, I think. Yeah, it's not good. We're doing some spraying. A couple of things I wanted to address from some comments and questions you guys had left on previous videos. Somebody commented about for the cost of what this is, that you should just be spraying everything and not even questioning it. And you're right. You're most likely right. The reason that I've gone back and forth and kind of struggled with this decision a little bit is because I don't want to spray stuff that I don't have to, right? It's not so much the cost, it's really cheap. It's the fact that unless it's really necessary, I don't want to use it. We're trying to be good stewards of everything, and not that this stuff is really bad for the environment, but I don't want to perpetuate the stereotype that we're just drenching our crops in chemicals and trying to, you know, kill everything in sight. And, you know, that's not it at all. I want to do what I have to do to protect my crop and nothing more. Because most of the time it is expensive. In this case, not so much. And, you know, just be a good steward of the products, the environment, the technology, all of it. Blanket spraying of products is what causes resistance, and the last thing that we need are aphids or Japanese beetles or bean beetles or some other insect that becomes resistant to one of the tools that we have to control it. And so you don't just spray because it's cheap, more or less. Also, I've gotten a couple of questions about potentially spreading white mold with sprayer tires, or me walking fields and going from one to the next and stuff. And while I suppose that is entirely possible, maybe even likely, I don't know, the white mold that we're seeing in these fields is not from me spreading it from one to the next. It is absolutely in the soil and something that has infected these plants weeks ago. It's not a new infection. By the time you see the plants dying, the white mold has been there for weeks. All right, that's all I'm gonna spray today. On the way home, I saw a neighbor sprayer sitting in his field, so I called him and said, "Hey, what you spraying?" And he said, "Aphids." So now I feel better. He said that he was on his last field, he sprayed them all. So I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy, because, you know, when I talk to some other people around and they have no idea that there's aphids, and it makes me like, am I the only one that sees these? But I'm not. All right, I want to take the gator over and check on Dad, see how he's coming on some stuff. He's got a new project today. I'll show you when we get there. Straw guys are getting some last of the baling done, some of the stuff that was too wet before. We got a little tile project going on in this field, and Dad's going to tear some fence rows out, doing a little tree cutting here, and improvements on some stuff. So we're going to take out a few of these trees and square up some fields, and yeah. Some of the first real work he's gotten to do with the new backhoe. We'll see how he likes it. I don't know why, but we're digging a trench. Looking for an old tile, it sounds like. Can't find it, so you just keep digging until you hit it. I can see some holes where they poked probing for it, but yeah, no luck. Although it's wet down there, look at that. We're not dry, down deep. Water seeping into the trench. Yep, we got plenty of moisture still. I wouldn't turn down some rain, but we got plenty of moisture still. Well, so they're trying to find a main that was put in the 60s. That goes back to the river, which is quite a ways that way. Didn't find it there, and didn't find it up here on the corner. There's a standpipe down along the beans over there that has got a sub main that's tied into it, a 6-inch, so they can run a tile locator up that and kind of push it back until it hits the main, and be able to find it that way. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna tile this field here over the next week or two, I would assume. Right there's the known spot where the tile is. Oh, check it out. We got a bale bearing up here. So the straw guys run this bearing that picks up the little bales and turns them into big bales. And it's pretty cool. You end up with bundles that look like this, except for usually they're not half hay, half straw. That one's mostly hay. Someday when I don't already have a whole video and these guys are out here baling like full bore with both balers and the bearing and picking and all that stuff, I'll try and make another video of that. I did that last year. You guys watched it, so I'll do it again. Okay, time for me to go home, and it's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm probably not doing anything this weekend. I may spray a load or two, but not enough to make it worth making a video. So I'll see you guys again on Monday. We do have a few more fields to spray, but I need to do some scouting. I got one, maybe two more loads that I can spray close, and then we got another load that's farther away that we need to go and look at the beans first, and we need to get to Berkey to check out those beans. So I might do that on Monday. Brock should be around on Monday. We got some mowing for him to do and things to keep him busy, and we'll
we'll see. Might help Dad a little bit more on some of his projects. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And I guess it's time to start selling seeds. So I'm probably going to work on that a little bit next week too. So anyway, that's what I got going on. Have a great weekend, everybody. I know I intend to. It's supposed to be warm. We might go to the lake. We might not. I don't know. My sister's coming home, and my brother-in-law is coming home with their son. So, yeah, should be a good time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Questions, comments, leave them down below. We'll see you again Monday.